Good evening, everyone. My name is Malene Jackson, and I work for the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. And I, Malene Jackson, and Clark Larson are co-leading the Fairland and Briggs Chaney Master Plan. He just waved to us. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to actually do some work. So let's jump right into the agenda for this evening. I also want to acknowledge any of the elected officials that we have in our room. I'm wanting you to raise your hand if you are an elected official and you're in the room. We just want to acknowledge your presence in the room and say thank you for joining us. I cannot see my other screen because I'm sharing, so we'll come back to that. So as far as the introduction is concerned, this series of slides that I'm going to be going through is the introduction. But after I get through this presentation, this hopefully short presentation, we'll be breaking out into smaller groups to do the first and second activity, which should take about 25 minutes. The first one is an icebreaker to get our juices flowing and our ideas going and get you to help us, help you, and help the community out. We're going to be doing this vision work together. We're going to, after doing exercise 1 and 2, reconvene in this room that you're in right now and debrief what we've heard from the first and second activity. And then we're going to jump into the final activity of an open discussion, which should take about 20 minutes. So we'll come back to the main space. We'll do some housekeeping and some talking about what's up next. And we'll ask you to take a short survey at the very end. So I hope that you stay with us until the end. What you're seeing on the right-hand side of the slide is the master plan boundary. I'm sure you've seen this image many times before, as this is not our first time hosting a virtual event. We've done at least 4 different virtual events in the listening phase, but we have been boots to the ground and in the community, being a constant presence in the community. And although we will not stop listening, we have to move on to the vision work that we're doing. And this meeting right now kicks off that series of meetings. The next one will be July 6th. You'll hear that date again. And that one will be in person. That one will be at the Seventh-day Adventist headquarters. But just to tell you how we got here, how did we get here? It's been a while, but we are more than halfway through this process. Our scope of work was actually approved in April of 2021, but right after the scope of work was approved, we jumped right into first attending a lot of the community-led events. We attended about 6 different events and created partnerships, and those partnerships have lasted up until this point, and we hope that we have some of our partners here with us tonight. Fast forward to 2022. We had our last community pop-up event this past June, and it was a success. I do believe that we had a large number of people that we talked to, probably about 30 people. It was our biggest sign-up push, and that was at Briggs Chaney Shopping Center. And so we've hosted about 4 different community pop-up events at 4 different locations. We briefed the planning board as well as the community on the existing conditions. And from the feedback that we've gained both from our community pop-up events, our everyday canvassing, which was a lot. We've canvassed both the single-family homes to the tune of about 544 in-person interviews, and we've canvassed the local businesses and received about 38 interviews, one-on-one interviews. So with that feedback and with all the information that we've collected so far, I want to let you know what the purpose of this event is for tonight. And like I said before, although we will not stop listening, it's not just about listening tonight. We're actually going to do some work. We're going to brainstorm some big ideas in order so that we can guide future development. We're building towards the recommendations for the master plan. So tonight is one of many opportunities for you to voice what you think the vision of Fairland and Briggs Chaney should be. We are reinforcing, by listening and doing the work that we're doing tonight, we're reinforcing the feedback and the data analysis and research that we've done so far. And we're creating this vision and the strategy to achieve the best outcomes in the near future. Just to kind of give you some regional context, what you're seeing on the right-hand side of your screen is the actual 1997 Fairland Master Plan outline in the dash orange line. And in the black is the master plan for the Fairland and Briggs Chaney master plan. So you can see that it's a smaller subset of the 1997 plan. To the north is the Burtonsville community, and they are off and running with some future development projects in the making. You have Howard County and Prince George's County bordering to the north and to the east, southeast. And you have the White Oak Science Gateway to the south. And so some of the comments that we've heard so far include the fact that the rec facilities, they're accessible, but and they're well maintained, but there's a need for basketball courts and more programming at the park facilities. Housing is affordable. Property maintenance is a challenge. The transit network and the BRT still need some improvements, but people are using the BRT, most of which residents are driving still alone, driving in a single occupancy, not many carpooling. There is a need to improve pedestrian facilities, especially along the major corridors, that being Route 29. Not many people are walking along Route 29, but there are a few people walking along the Briggs Chaney Road, and that's in need of some design changes. It's not the safest to walk. There's definitely a need for bike facilities and youth programming. Lots of community gathering space has been mentioned to us several times over. The need for a competitive retail market and more access to healthy food, as well as crime prevention and public or personal safety. And that's how we got to kind of pulling out our 7 policy themes that you probably heard of in our existing conditions report. On the right-hand side of the screen is a map of where we received a lot of our canvassing effort, all of the feedback, most of which came from the Castle Boulevard, folks that were living along Castle Boulevard. And people were telling us, again, about parks and recreation, housing, transportation, culture, equity. Equity is a big part to this plan, racial equity, social justice, public services, economic health, public safety, and the environment. Even though the environment number or feedback that we received is fairly low, people are still very concerned about the environment and wanting to preserve the natural features. And so I just want to kind of brief you on some of the things and kind of get you oriented to what we're hoping to get out of tonight. So what you see is on the left-hand side of the screen, things that work well. And some, like I said before, parks are well maintained, but there's a need for more recreation facilities. Sorry for the typo. There's a need for competitive, affordable housing in the housing market, excuse me. Regional connectivity is a plus for most residents. This is the reason why they live here. It's affordable to live, and they can access downtown Silver Spring as well as up north to Baltimore. We have some folks that are commuting. Most folks are commuting out to get to work. They're not staying in the Fairland and Briggs Chaney when it comes to their work. It's a rich heritage, resilient culture. There's lots of diversity. There are many people who speak multiple languages. There's strong job market. There's a lot of jobs that are placed in the Fairland and Briggs Chaney neighborhood. But like I said, most people are traveling outside of the community to access their work. There's lush landscapes because most of the residents are backed up to stream valley buffers. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you're seeing items listed in red, which are things that are not working as well, which are the fact that the community is very vulnerable, or at least there are some aspects where they feel like the cost of housing is competitive, and therefore the rental market is relative to the rest of Montgomery County. And so for the folks that are cost burdened, that are not making, that are making about $75,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, are feeling the pinch, are feeling the need to either find even more affordable housing, like maybe 30% of AMI, the area median income, But the cost of rental housing is somewhere in the range of 1,600 to 1,800. So it's competitive with the rest of Montgomery County. There's a need to improve accessibility and pedestrian connectivity, access to healthy foods, again, retail revitalization, safer site designs for people with disabilities, for senior citizens. There's a need for newer housing. More housing means more development. We have to plan for more development in this community. And last but definitely not least, there's a need for professional training or programs for all residents, for children, senior citizens, and active adults. And that's what led us to picking out these 7 different areas of focus, which for tonight, we're going to be categorizing them into 9 different areas, because in the midst of our conversations as of recently, we've added community and the need for community building, arts and culture, and this aspect of design, development and design going hand in hand. Schools and education are also things that were commented on in our everyday canvassing, but we didn't pull it out specifically. So we want to talk about those things tonight as well. All the other things are relative to the policy themes that I just discussed. So the vision goals, this is your opportunity to tell us what you are thinking and wanting for the future of Montgomery County. And so I want to get back at the real reason why we're here, and to kick us off with the high-level icebreaker. If there's no elected officials in the room, I didn't see any hands raised, but I'm not sure if I'm just not seeing you. I apologize if I haven't seen anyone who's an elected official. Thank you for joining us again tonight, and thanks everyone for joining us tonight, for making time for this. The first activity is going to take about 10 minutes, and then we're going to transition into the second activity before reconvening into the main space. So with that being said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to check with my co-lead. Clark, are we good with the breakout sessions, the breakout groups? Can we get started?
Yeah, I think we have everyone assigned in a room. Just want to let you know that you'll be in one of 4 rooms: blue, orange, yellow, and pink. And if you don't get sent into a room, that means you're staying right here in the pink group.
Okay, so, I also, before we break out, I wanted to just maybe mention this one other, sorry, I forgot to go over some housekeeping tips. I know you probably have been here before, but just in case we have some newcomers to the Zoom setting, there are some features that I just want you to take special note of. The one is if you want to mute yourself, that's in the bottom left-hand corner. If you're trying to leave the meeting, which we hope that you don't, that's in the bottom right-hand corner. We hope that you stay with us the entire time, by the way. And we want to encourage you to show your face, especially in the smaller groups if you can, so that we can put a name with a face and a face with a name. And if there are any questions, we can take some small questions right now, maybe 1 or 2. But with that being said, I think you should be getting your breakout session request in a minute here. Any questions?
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had good discussions. Molly?
Yeah, we had a great discussion. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to wrap us up here and bring back that lovely slide presentation that we were on and take us to the end. We only have a few more minutes here, and I want to say thank you for staying with us as long as you have. I'm trying to bring up the presentation as we speak here. Okay, and I'm going to put it in presentation mode, so I won't be able to see your lovely faces except for on the side of my screen. So if I miss something, let me know. Okay, so next steps. What do we have in planned next? Okay, so of course we are generating all of this work, all of this conversation that we're having right now is so that we can get to the preliminary recommendations. We're going to be following up with some interviews with mainly property owners, because we need to circle back with some of the property owners, including the Briggs Chaney Marketplace and the Verizon site. We want you to join us for the next in-person session. Again, that's July 6th. If you haven't already registered, please go ahead and register. Again, we're going to be presenting our preliminary recommendations and the draft plan to the community. We're going to come back to you after we finish this series sometime in probably September. And then we're going to be presenting to the planning board that same draft, or changes might be minor changes after we've discussed with you what those changes need to be. And then this is the series of upcoming events. The next two events, Wednesday, July 6th, which is what I just mentioned, is from 6 to 8, same time, in person though this time. We're going to be focused on the southern part of the master plan boundary at the Seventh Day Adventist site. I'm going to turn it over now to Don so he can give us a little quick information about the upcoming placemaking event and its location and or close to the East County Community Center and the East County Regional Service Center. Don?
Sure, thank you, Molly. Good evening, everyone. My name is Don Ziegler, the Yelp County Master Plan Supervisor, here to update you about the upcoming Fairland and Briggs Chaney Festival being held on October 21st and 22nd at the Briggs Chaney Park and Ride lot. The goal is to re-envision a small portion of the parking lot shared by the Services Center and the Park and Ride for a 2-day community-led event that will help the community get creative with their neighborhood space. This effort will help create a safe, welcoming neighborhood space for all ages and backgrounds that will incorporate the surrounding neighborhood's vision for their future. Additionally, we would like to test some of the ideas and the feedback that we've gotten here tonight for the master plan. You may remember we had a previous placemaking effort here in 2019 at the Crossing Shopping Center in Burtonsville, not too far away. We are once again partnering with the Better Block Foundation from Dallas, Texas for this event. We are still in the information gathering stage, and we are seeking design ideas for the festival. Please see the link for the survey questionnaire in the chat. We are seeking input to help shape the direction. We are seeking input from the community, from you all, to help shape the direction of the future event. So please stay tuned to the Fairland Briggs Chaney webpage for more updates for the Placemaking Festival that will be here in your community, October 21st and 22nd. Thank you.
And I also just want to say that in context with the Fairland and Briggs Chaney Master Plan, this is like the heart. This is where if we had a heat map, this is where all the heat would be for the Fairland and Briggs Chaney community. This is where there's a heavily populated multifamily community and seniors and the BRT station there. So this is the heart of our master plan as well. And so I also just wanted to ask that my co-lead or someone might share the link to the survey, the quick survey for this evening. We want to hear from you. We want to know that we did a good job with facilitating conversations. It's not that long. It probably takes about 2 minutes. It's a yes or no, very quick survey. Please, please, please do it. It'll help us for the next session in preparations. We want to make sure we're doing a good job. So go ahead and take that survey after someone drops it into the chat, please. I think it's there. Okay, great. The survey's in the chat, so if you haven't seen it, please click on that survey and take it. Please, it'll help us. I also want to mention the photo contest. If you don't know, we are doing a photo contest. You can win a gift card ranging from $300 to $100. And if you're coming to the next event and you want to whip out your camera phone, or you are skilled with a regular camera these days, I think most people just have their smartphones. But feel free to take photos while you're in the community and share those photos with us. You have an option. You might actually win a photo. You might actually win one of those gift cards if you submit it to us, and it fulfills the requirements. So I'll share the link, or someone's going to share the link to, someone already did, to the photo contest. Thank you so much, Clark. Appreciate it. And last but not least, we are wrapping up here, and the time is, sorry. And we just want to make sure that we give our contact information so you know where to find us. Again, my name is Moline Jackson, and my co-lead, Clark Larson. There's our email address. And Don, who you just heard from, he's a supervisor for Up County. If you haven't met him, go ahead and reach out to him as well. Tell him how we're doing here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and just want to say thank you for spending your evening with us. We are right on time. It is now 7:25. And we are going to gift you 5 minutes back. But before we gift you this time, I just want to also mention that if you're coming to the next one, you're going to learn something different. And so we hope that you continue to stay engaged with us. You continue to participate in this process, because you might get a totally different experience with each event. So stay in touch with us and definitely come to the next one because it'll be a different conversation. Have a good evening, unless there's anyone who, I was going to acknowledge Eric, but I'm not sure, Eric, if you're still there, which I don't see Eric in the room anymore. I wanted to acknowledge that he was a delegate and he was in my room, so I actually got to speak with him. Clark, did you want to say anything to wrap us up?
No, I don't think I have anything else better to say than you did. So
Awesome.
thank you for everyone joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Go eat your dinner if you haven't
Oh.
already.
Okay, thank you. Good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you, Patricia. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
See you, Rachel.